The 49ers made roster moves before the first practice even started, and this is not paperwork. It is an immediate challenge to every position that still looks vulnerable. A veteran is back to harden the defensive line. 4 important players open camp on the PUP list. Brock Purdy's protection remains under scrutiny, and 2 players enter camp fighting for completely different futures. Santa Clara cannot treat July like a consequence-free laboratory. This roster has January ambitions, so every hesitation comes with interest. Subscribe to 49ers Express, because today we are putting every decision under pressure to find out who truly strengthens this run. We start with the move that has already happened. Kevin Givens is back on a 1-year contract, while Evan Anderson was waived to create the roster spot. The swap makes the immediate priority obvious. San Francisco wants someone familiar and tested who can join the rotation without relearning the organization. Givens is not promising fireworks. He brings proven usefulness. Across 7 seasons with the 49ers, he played 70 games, started 14, recorded 93 tackles and 8 sacks, and appeared in 9 playoff games. He understands the strain of camp, the demands of this defensive front, and the responsibility that surfaces when the rotation starts losing bodies. That familiarity saves time. Time is exactly what this team should not waste. The other side of the decision is harsh but unavoidable. Anderson signed a reserve/future deal in January, and now he is out before the first practice. Camp is not a loyalty program. If the staff believes Givens offers a more immediate answer, John Lynch has to act, even when it means cutting a young vet before that player builds any momentum. Alfred Collins, Isaac Guerendo, George Kittle, and Michael Williams were also placed on the active/PUP list. They can still return during camp, but their status changes the early distribution of reps. Other players will receive opportunities that might never have existed with a full group. The pressure runs both ways. The replacements need to capitalize, and the medical staff cannot surrender to impatience. Givens gives the team a buffer in that situation. He does not solve every absence or erase the health questions, but he reduces the improvisation required along the defensive line. After appearing in only 5 games in 2025, he also has to prove he can still hold a meaningful role. This reunion is not a Lifetime Achievement Award. It is a competitive arrangement, and it only remains valuable if Givens turns his memory of the system into production right now. If bringing Givens back removes one uncertainty, the offensive line still has an opening nobody has seized. Connor Colby, Robert Jones, Brett Toth, and rookie Carver Willis are competing at left guard, but none has built enough separation to end the discussion. Beside Trent Williams, that vacancy cannot be treated like a camp curiosity. It is the inside lane for pressure to reach Brock Purdy and traffic to stop Christian McCaffrey before he accelerates. So Jarrett Patterson deserves to be monitored. There is no indication the 49ers and Texans are negotiating. There is, however, a combination that could gain traction as camp unfolds. Houston has stacked options along its line, Patterson lacks security in his role, and San Francisco is still searching for stability inside. Not with public noise, but with a need running into a player who may become available. Patterson started 21 games during his first 3 NFL seasons. He has played center and guard, lined up at left guard at Notre Dame, and returned to that position for Houston in 2025. He appeared in all 17 games that season and started 5. According to the numbers provided, he did not allow a sack over 206 pass-blocking snaps. The sample does not turn him into a star, but it shows the exact kind of competence the 49ers need to investigate. The fit reaches beyond one stat. A lineman with experience making calls at center can recognize protections, communicate adjustments, and cover all 3 interior positions. Kyle Shanahan gets flexibility on Sunday and legitimate competition from Monday through Saturday. Patterson is roughly 6'4" and 310 pounds, with NFL experience and strong football intelligence. He would not arrive promising to bury every defender in the running game. His appeal is preventing breakdowns, organizing the interior, and executing consistently. Here is the aggressive part. Lynch should not wait for this competition to become a disaster before finding out the price. Monitoring Patterson does not mean throwing away draft capital. It means calling, learning how Houston views him, and setting a limit before an injury or a bad stretch of practices raises the urgency. If one of the current contenders dominates camp, perfect. The money and picks stay home. If all of them keep alternating mistakes with flashes, the 49ers will already know which door to knock on. Any potential move must be judged by the cost and Patterson's real ability to win the job, not by the comfort of adding another body. Trading out of anxiety would be weak. Ignoring an experienced interior lineman while Purdy takes pressure up the middle would be worse. The line between patience and passivity appears before the quarterback hits the ground. San Francisco has to see it now. An outside possibility leads us to a player who starts every season with somebody trying to take his job. Ji'Ayir Brown enters the final year of his contract with brutal outcomes. He could lose snaps, play out the season and leave, or finally convince the 49ers that he deserves an extension. No player carries more individual pressure into this camp. Brown has never been given a clear runway since San Francisco drafted him in 2023. Talanoa Hufanga's injury pushed the rookie into the lineup, and he took over beginning in Week 12. In 2024, Brown again played heavily while Hufanga and Tashawn Gibson were injured, but he went to the bench when the hierarchy changed. San Francisco tried Jason Pinnock ahead of him in 2025. Now Ashton Davis joins the competition, while Marquise Siegel enters year 2 with starting experience. The accumulated message is hard to ignore. The organization has never seemed willing to hand Brown a job without keeping another option within reach of the coaching staff. Raheem Morris adds more tension because he arrives with no previous connection to Brown. He does not have to defend old draft decisions or protect an inherited order. If Morris sees Brown as a reserve or a dime package piece, he can make that move freely. But there is an irony the team should not miss. Every attempt to push Brown out of the lineup has run into his ability to survive and outperform expectations. He gets on the field, faces the doubt, and keeps forcing the coaches to reconsider their answer. That does not guarantee him a contract. It shows that dismissing him out of habit would be lazy evaluation. Camp needs to test 3 things. First, consistency. Can Brown reduce the swings that keep driving the team to search for competition? Second, fit. Can he execute what Morris demands in coverage, communication, and aggression? Third, value. If the price lands in the range of a lower-end starter or quality depth, does it make sense to retain a player who knows this roster and still has room to grow? My demand is simple. Stop judging Brown only against the player the 49ers once imagined replacing him. Judge what he delivers against the real options inside the building. If Davis or Siegel is better, let one of them win it on the field. If Brown takes the job again, the franchise needs to abandon this permanent half-trust and negotiate seriously. Red alert question for the fan base. Tell me in the comments which flaw Brown absolutely must fix to earn an extension. I do not want a popularity vote. Give me the technical or mental mistake you would track during every practice. Every rep becomes evidence with the contract clock running. An interception can remind everyone of his instincts. One communication bust can reinforce years of doubt. Brown cannot control the additions around him, but he controls whether Morris finds new reasons to keep him on the field. Over the next few weeks, he will not merely compete for snaps. He will force the 49ers to decide whether his persistence has become lasting trust or whether he will remain the answer that appears only after their preferred plans fail. Brett Toth closes our rundown with an almost inverted situation. His roster spot looks far more secure than his role. The one-year deal can be worth up to $2.5 million, with $2.215 million guaranteed, according to SpotTrack. A team does not commit that much guaranteed money while casually expecting to release the player before Week 1. The contract points toward the 53-man roster, but Toth cannot enter camp like a tourist protected by his deal. The 49ers signed him because Philadelphia used him at all 5 offensive line positions. That versatility recalls the value Daniel Brunskill once provided. Not necessarily the best starter at one isolated spot, but a player who can prevent one injury from forcing Shanahan to rearrange 2 or 3 jobs at once. The left guard competition is his first path. Toth will battle Robert Jones, Connor Colby, Carver Willis, and others. If he proves sturdy inside, he could even win the job. He may also work as a swing tackle, although Vidarian Lowe and Enrique Cruz Jr. are fighting for that duty. The third possibility might be the most important, becoming Jake Brendel's primary backup, because this roster does not have an obvious number 2 center. That changes the read on a potential Jarrett Patterson addition. The two would not automatically be redundant. Patterson could attack the starting job inside. Toth would retain value as a movable piece, emergency insurance, and a backup at several spots. The problem arrives if neither shows enough quality to handle extended snaps. Versatility without execution is only a long list of positions. Toth looks bound for the roster, but he must determine whether he will be a contender, protection, or merely a last resort. For a team planning to survive January, that difference is enormous. Every position he truly masters allows the 49ers to keep another specialist. Every position he only survives can expose the offense when its depth is needed. Guaranteed money buys an opportunity. Only camp buys trust. Givens is back because the defense needed solid ground. Patterson is on the radar because protection cannot wait for failure. Brown faces the most personal decision of camp, while Toth must turn guaranteed money into real usefulness. The thread connecting all four is uncomfortable. The 49ers still have unanswered questions in areas that decide close games. So Lynch and Shanahan are on the clock. Which move would you make first to keep a July concern from becoming a January loss? Answer in the comments, hit like, and subscribe to 49ers Express. Championship rosters do not run from pressure. They use every practice to eliminate it.